Hi, I'm Ross.
And I'm Kara.
And this is DIY on the house.
Today I get to have a milestone. I get to learn how to put a flapper in. Ross is going to teach me. After 25 years of marriage and being a plumber's daughter, this will be the first time that I have put in a flapper.
And this will probably be my 1,000,000th time.
Yeah, you've been a plumbing contractor for over 20 years, and it is time for me to know what he does. So stay tuned.
Due to older water shutoff valves you may have in your home that may leak when turned off, we will not be shutting off the water. But we will show you a trick on how this can be done towards the end of the video. Flapper 101. We took a toilet and we just cut out the front here so you can actually see what's going on here, how to adjust properly.
Okay, so slow down. So what is really going on here? What am I seeing here?
Okay, what you're seeing here, this is the trip lever, the interior of it.
So the trip lever is connected to the handle.
Yep, the trip lever is connected to the handle. And this is actually the flapper valve. The flapper valve is the valve that when the trip lever comes up, when you flush the toilet, it stays up because there's just a little pocket of air in here, and it just holds that until the weight of the flapper and the water level comes down and just pops back down and seals. Okay,
so if the flapper valve is bad, what would be happening?
All right, if the flapper valve is bad, you'll get you'll hear a pshht, and that'll actually be the fill valve kicking on because the water level is dropping inside the bowl to the point where the float here is going down, triggers it, and it refills.
So basically, this is no longer sealing.
Right.
Water is seeping in there, telling it to fill water again because water has went out.
And that's just a continuous thing. It'll happen 24 hours a day, every 7 days a week.
So you could lose a lot of water this way.
Yeah, you could lose quite a bit.
Okay, so how would I be able to visually tell if a flapper was bad?
I've got some samples right here. This flapper here, you can actually see it's deformed right here on the cone, and it's super hard. It's hardly even flexible anymore. So once that happens, you lose the seal. This needs to be a nice pliable flapper. And when it comes down, it makes a nice seal. This particular one was used with the chlorine toilet tap that are put in toilets to keep the bowl clean. And what chlorine does, it actually eats rubber. What will happen here, it just eats it enough that it ends up turning into a powder. And that, of course, loses a seal and then it starts leaking. This flapper here is just age. And what it does over time, it'll just warp out of shape and lose its seal. And that's just the common things that will happen.
Okay, honey, I see we have two flappers here. So what am I looking at?
Right. This one is a 2-inch universal flapper. And this is a 3-inch universal flapper. And it's an obvious difference. Once you look into your toilet tank, you'll know the difference. This is the 2-inch adjustable flapper. It's got a scale on it 1 through 9. 1 being the minimum amount of water that can be flushed, or 9 being the max. This is a 3-inch universal flapper. On the back of the packaging, there's a table that will tell you how to set up your flapper. On the bottom of the flapper, there's an adjustment. And there's also a number scale on it as well. So you'll turn this adjustment to whatever the setting tells you on the table, and that'll be set up for your different manufactured toilet. Okay, Kara, let's go ahead and put the new one on. Okay. So you're gonna put it on the 2 arms first.
Okay.
And you're gonna hear a snap and a snap. Snap. Perfect. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is attach the chain. But the chain has to be adjusted. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this off.
No, you're going to tell me.
All right, so you're going to take that off.
Okay. Because remember, I want to say I changed a flapper.
All right.
Okay, so I have it this length.
All right, so what we actually want a little dangle to the chain. A little dangle.
Okay, so I see like just a couple links of dangling.
You don't want it tight because if you leave it tight, then it's not going to seal. If you leave it too loose, when this comes up, it's actually going to catch on something and hold this flapper up.
Okay.
And it will do it every time.
So you put it with a couple lengths there.
And then you'll just kind of guesstimate.
Take a measurement.
Right.
And so my chain ends up here.
Yep. Go ahead and pop it in there. I'm going to call that a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
All right, so now it works perfect.
Okay, so now if this went up and it flushed again before it went back down, that is when you say we adjust this dial.
So what's going to happen when you flush it, the trip lever will come up. This cone actually holds a little bit of air, and after it flushes and the water level drops, the flapper will drop back down as well. If you hear it flush twice, this is on the maximum adjustment right here. You'll just kind of dial it down a few, maybe 5, and flush it again once the tank fills. And if it drops down, it only flushes once, and you get a good flush in the toilet, just leave it alone.
Okay, so this is just trial and error on the different brands of toilet. The 3-inch one that you showed us, we can look for their suggestion, but do you, sometimes on the 3-inch one, do you still have to adjust it?
Yeah, occasionally if it doesn't flush completely out, you'll starve it from a little bit of water, meaning you'll close up the holes, and that will allow the flapper to stay up longer, more water to come into the bowl, and a better flush. What I want to show you is how to change a flapper and without turning the water off at the wall, using this little hack that I've devised. What you do is take a clothes hanger and you can clip it to roughly about 12 inches long. This is the fill valve. This is the valve that puts water into the toilet. I'm going to take the wire, I'm going to put it under it. I'm not going to put a lot of stress on this arm because I don't want to break it and end up having to change that as well. Now, when I flush the toilet, the valve does not kick on, and we can go ahead and do our work. All right, next thing we want to do is take our flapper, the chain on it, unclip it from the trip lever, just like that, and then pull it off the flush valve arms. Now, a lot of times, this flapper, over time, these arms get kind of stiff. So you just kind of work at it, just keep working it and pop it off the arms, and once you get it done, then it's good to go. Put that to the side. Now we're going to take our new flapper and put it where the arms are, and we're going to hear that pop, pop, and we're going to take our chain, and this one needs adjusted a little bit. Just going to drop down the flapper, give it a little bit of slack, kind of guesstimate where I'm supposed to hook into, and give that a shot. And that actually looks pretty good. Okay, so now I've got this flapper adjusted at number 9. I'm going to go ahead and remove the wire, let water start coming back into the tank. So the tank is full and the flapper is adjusted to 8. I'm going to go ahead and flush it. And you know what? That's perfect. We're just going to leave it and call it good, and we just saved ourselves a minimum of $100 for a plumbing call.
Well, I call that a wrap. I have learned a ton, and hopefully you did too. Look down below for links to other videos that we have done on DIY on the house. And
if you liked the video, hit the little thumbs up and the subscribe button. We appreciate it.